Díogwibh, tá 100,000 fáilte roimh chuig an Seirmeanás Bruntaine céimeanna ar leis seo. Greetings from the public theatre or exam hall of the College of the Holy and Undivided Trinity of Queen Elizabeth near Dublin. I'm Brendan Tagney, and as Registrar, I welcome you, the graduates, and your friends and family to this graduation ceremony. We're now in our second year of holding ceremonies in this digital modality, and we have all gotten used to doing many things in this way. Some work well in this medium, but others less so. The online event does fulfill the formal aspect of the ceremony, but will only go some way towards replicating the vibe of being on campus with friends, families, and classmates. Commencement ceremonies are actually meetings of the University Senate and are presided over by the caput, or head, led today by Pro-Chancellor of the University, Dr. Sheila Green, who is joined on the caput by the Pro-Provost of the College, Dr. Damien McManus, and the Senior Master Non-Regent, Professor Kevin Devine. The Senior Proctor who will present graduates to the Senate is Professor Werner Blau. Professor Joseph Harbison will read out the names of the graduates from the School of Medicine. The Pro-Chancellor and Pro-Provost are in the public theatre, together with the Mace Bearer, Mr. Joe Mockler, while the rest of the participants join remotely. I will say a little more about the formal ceremony shortly, but first the Pro-Chancellor and then Professor Michael Gill have a few remarks that they would like to make.
It's a great pleasure to welcome you here to our very special commencement ceremony. Today, the words of the formal ceremony are the same as ever, and as ever in Latin. The context, though, is very different. Conducting everything via Zoom would be unimaginable in previous generations. Indeed, it would be hard for us all to imagine these circumstances just 18 months ago. I want to congratulate all of you who are about to graduate and all those who have supported you throughout your years as students. Although it is in some ways a disappointment that we're not all gathered together in this great hall, I hope that wherever you are surrounded by family or friends or both and have plans for a great celebration. As you set out on your careers, I hope you bring your memories of Trinity with you, that you will keep in touch with your classmates and with the college. I know your lecturers and professors are proud of you. The college is proud of you, and we all wish you great success and happiness. Well done.
Colleagues, I'm delighted to pass on the School of Medicine's heartfelt congratulations to all of you on this graduation today and on becoming doctors. I address you as colleagues because that is what you are now, no longer undergraduate students. So welcome to the profession. This is normally a joyful experience in the exam hall and in the front square. Classmates, family, friends, and everyone looking their best, the finest outfits. But for the second year in a row, due to the public health restrictions in place, this has had to be a virtual commencement ceremony. And I'm sad that this is the case, as I'm sure you are too. It may be virtual, but it is no less of a real event, an important milestone in your careers, and one with a long tradition. This ceremony is conducted in Latin, a language with a huge historical significance. A universitas was a guild of masters with a license to teach. Degree and graduate came from the Latin gradus, meaning a step. The word commencement reflects the meaning of the Latin inceptio, or beginning, the name given to the ceremony of initiation for new scholars into the fellowship of university teachers in medieval Europe. This event thus marks the commencement or inception of your fully fledged academic and professional lives. I want to commend you for showing such resilience throughout the year in coping with the unprecedented difficulties created by this COVID pandemic that has affected you since the second semester in year 4 and throughout your 5th year. I want to express my admiration for the professionalism you have shown in adhering to the public health guidelines throughout the pandemic. For as a medical school, we've had very few cases of COVID-19 or outbreaks among students, and this has been well noted by the health services and indeed the university and the public as medical students would have had a reputation for working hard, but also for playing hard. And we are very proud of you for this alone. As a year, you've seen the greatest impact of the pandemic on your teaching and learning, with modifications to the academic programme and restrictions on clinical placements. You've had a very difficult experience compared to pre-COVID years, and even compared to last year's final med class that witnessed the start of the pandemic. It's been a combination, I'm sure, of stress, frustration, exhaustion, bewilderment. But as the saying goes, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. So I hope this list now includes relief, pride, achievement, bonding, and a real sense of success. Unlike last year's class, who started their internship in the middle of the pandemic, with hospitals overwhelmed with severely ill COVID patients, I hope you will experience a somewhat more normal internship as the vaccinations and other measures continue to be having a profound effect on the pandemic. The epidemiology, the public health system, the expert panels, new treatment protocols, and the development and rollout of vaccine programs have shown how medical science can react to extraordinary circumstances. I'm confident that many of you will play a part in global medical, scientific, and university activities, tackling existing and new challenges that the world will face in the coming years, not least those related to equality and diversity and the health-related impacts of climate change. I want to thank you for your patience and flexibility in working with Professor Joe Harbison, Ms. Anya Wade, and the whole educational team. As reflected in the saying above, we navigated our way through some serious storms and some white water to reach this day. I want to pay special tribute to your class reps, Len Xiao, Marianne Foley, Samantha Keeling, and Joe Deegan, who met with the school regularly, sometimes on a weekly basis, to give us feedback and input from the class, and to take back to the class the explanations behind the changes that were happening and that we had to initiate. I'd like to also pay tribute to your families, your friends, your colleagues for supporting you and helping you throughout the year. They can now all take great pride and satisfaction on your wonderful achievements today. If it's not completely obvious to you by now, I should of course warn you that medicine is not an easy career. You will continue to need to work hard, putting in long hours. You will study for your postgraduate and professional exams, and as a professional, you will take on responsibilities, but also the rewards of being a doctor, and that special feeling of having a valuable career that is inherent in being a doctor in the modern world, a world where doctors remain one of the most highly respected and trusted professions. I might also advise you to achieve balance between your work as a doctor and all the other parts of your lives, your families, your friends, your hobbies, your activities, and to continue to apply the many interests and skills that you have outside of medicine. Becoming a graduate should not be a farewell. It's important for the medical school and for Trinity College that as a student graduates, they do not leave, but rather accept a new kind of membership of the university community, your commencement or inception into the university fellowship. I want to welcome you as an alumni of the school, and I hope that you will continue to be supported and assisted in your professional careers. For the School of Medicine, we hope that as graduates, you will be our advisors, our supporters, our ambassadors, our colleagues, and our friends. To finish, the School of Medicine warmly congratulates you on your achievements. I would like to wish each and every one of you the very best for the commencement of your professional career as doctors.
So congratulations. It's a wonderful achievement to the class of 2021, because now you are doctors and you finish your medical degree. And we're all delighted for you and your families on this day. We wanted to thank you so much for your professionalism and your behaviour during medical school. You've been a credit and wonderful to work with. We've had so much praise of your behaviour, your kindness, and your thoughtfulness with patients and your compassion on the wards. And we were absolutely delighted to work with you. You are entering a very privileged position where you will get huge job satisfaction, but it can be quite stressful and hard. And although you're in a privileged position and you can do good every day, you have to also mind yourself and each other, because sometimes it's the doctors who don't ask for help from each other. But finally, thank you and congratulations. Your career will continue to get better and better as you end up in the specialties that you really want to work in. And it is a career that I know that you will continue to enjoy. Thank you.
There are a few points to make before we begin the formal ceremony. The first is, what is the purpose of the ceremony? One answer is that it's an opportunity to publicly and formally celebrate some event or achievement. A criticism of our modern connected world is that we are always on and go from one activity to another without a break, or worse still, multiplex and try and do several things simultaneously. I would encourage you to take this ceremony as an opportunity to pause and reflect and acknowledge the significance of what you have achieved in obtaining your degree and the extent to which it marks the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. In marking the occurrence of significant events, ceremonies encourage us to take the long-term view. You are not the first to be graduated from this theatre, which is over 300 years old, and you are not the last. This is not to diminish the occasion, but rather to position today and your achievement in that long arc of tradition and mark your formal entry into the Trinity alumni community, which transcends space and time. This is not Trinity's first pandemic. There's a bench in New Square where you may wish to sit when you're next on campus, dedicated to the memory of R.B. MacDowell, who studied and taught history here. He told me the story of how he caught Spanish flu in 1919 and thankfully lived to tell the tale. So today, you will secure your place in the history of college as the COVID graduates and can tell that story to your children and grandchildren. As previously stated, the formal ceremony to follow is a meeting of the Senate of the University of Dublin, at which you, the graduates, will have your degrees conferred upon you. As an aside, a practical manifestation of the subtle and sometimes confusing distinction between the University of Dublin and Trinity College is that when writing letters after your name, it should read, for example, BA brackets Dub and not BA brackets TCD. Following a tradition that stretches back to the origins of the university, our commencement ceremonies are conducted entirely in Latin. The Latin ceremony recognises the university's historic past, reflecting a heritage shared with the oldest universities of Europe. Latin was a language of learning and debate all across Europe when these first universities were the seedbed of scholarship and enlightenment. Within the universities at the time, Latin was the language of study, the language of philosophy and the sciences, of law, and of all the professions. And that shared language, long before the World Wide Web, allowed the exchange of scholars and ideas between universities, transcending the boundaries of empire and religion in old Europe. As far as this ceremony is concerned, it is by continuing to use Latin that we acknowledge our heritage, the intellectual foundations of the modern Western world, and the debt we owe to scholars and to scholarship of former times. The ceremony will be opened by the Pro-Chancellor with the Salvete, which is a general welcome to us all. This will be followed by a reading of the University Senate minutes, which relate to the last degree awarding meeting of the Senate, i.e., the last commencement ceremony that took place before this one. The senior proctor will ask the caput to approve the awardings of the degrees. The mace bearer then calls for a vote by members of the Senate, and the Chancellor asks for the agreement of those present, which is given by the response, plaquette, it is agreed. The senior proctor will then present each degree and call out the names of the candidates, commending them to the Pro-Chancellor for admittance to the degree. The Pro-Chancellor then admits the named candidates, and the Pro-Chancellor will close the ceremony bidding us all farewell with the words of the Walete, or goodbye. I'll now hand us over to the Pro-Chancellor, who will begin the formal ceremony.
Salvete senatores omnes, domini doctores, domini magistri, salvete candidati seniores junioresque, salvete hospites undique hic benignissime congregati, comitia fiant in nomine Dei. Amen.
Comitia Vernalia, termino sanctissime Trinitatis, altera post meridiana, habita Dea unde tregissimo Aprilis, anno Domini millissimo secondo vicesimo primo. Caput Senatus, Cancellaria Maria Patricia Maculis, Doctor in utroque jure. Praepositus, Patricus Johannes Prendergast, Doctor in Scientis. Senior Magister non regans, Comgenus Martinus Divine, Doctor in Philosophia. Procurator Senior, Vernus Josephus Blau, Doctor in Scientis. Registrarius Dionysius Brendanus Tangni, Magister in Scientis. Gradus Seniores, Solemni modo calati sunt, examinatona habita in album senatus referenda, registrarius curabit.
Praehonorabilis pro cancellaria totaque universitas. Supplicant reverensis vestris ei, quinis cartis queneman in pus nostris sunt nominantur, ut his comitis ad gradum supernomina designatum admittantur. Ego fidi mea testa expondeo toti academiae, unum quemque candidaturum his cartis nominatum, omnia exercitia ad gradum, ad quem unus quisque aspirat, pertinentia pro legibus academicis rite complevisse.
Ad scrutinium.
Lacet ne vobis, Domini Doctoris.
Lacet.
Lacet ne vobis, Domini Magistri.
Lacet.
Lacet.
Lacet omnibus.
In absentia.
Baccalaureae artibus in medicina et in chirurgia et in arte obstetricia chartis honoris donati. Ahmed Rizwan. Barden Eving Tutti. Brown Laura Ethna. Cash Michael James. Chan Colin Guo Gin. Condon Claire. Dowding Rochelle Lee. Elnemer Rania Ali. Johnson Kate. Kavanagh Matthew. Liao Yun Hui. McMahon Fanula. McMahon Isselt. Marshall Hannah. McCabe Lydia Susan. McDermott Rian. Murray Louise. Nagpal Ria. O'Neill Susan. Prial Dara. Smith Philip. Stapleton Connor. Williamson Jack. Abdullah Shahed Azam Ahmed. Afzal Zainab. Alasyam Aishwara. Arslan Muhammad. Barnes Ellen. Barnes Melissa. Barry Aaron Michael. Beck Eric Nicholas. Binti Mod Salim Arifa Shahira. Blunt Owen. Brady Nathan. Buckley Katie. Byrne Creeville. Byrne Laura. Combe Pierce. Carter Ellen. Chian Brian Mui Kwok. Clory Kira Bernadette. Condon Matthew. Cullinan Roisin. Dalton Sav. Dean Jallo Kultumi Hamzat. Devereux Ruthie. Devers Tara Leslie Victoria. Doherty Ronan. Dolan Alice Margaret. Doran Jack. Doyle Aoife Margaret. Duncan Andrew. Dwyer Liam. Feeney Emily. Gole Richard. Gibbons John Oscar. Go Sir Yao. Goodman Sophie. Grian Roisin. Hare Rachel. Hessian Ernan. Higgins Maeve. Hurst Mark. Bisaini Naima Saida. Isnin Nur Shahira Binti. Jones Cormac. Kareem Mistura. Keely Dillon. Keeling Samantha Beatrice. Kylie Kira Catherine. Kirby Emer Mary. Klassen Catherine Ann. Co Basil Bolyan. Con Wei Kyong. Lane Cormac. Latvis Jack. Lee Aulick. Junbach Johann, Liu Chi Wei, McCarthy Rihanna, Mar Kean, Michelle Kwok Qian Tong, Nahalko Samantha Page, Mohes Zadel Charis, Mooney Lorna, Morrow Sarah, Narayan Sangita, O'Toole Anne, Queck Carmen, Quinn Emma, Ramat Shermeen, Rudzinska Natalia, Selden Yeshi, Xiao Pian Hao Leon, Simeon N. Simone, Thompson Sarah, Vickers Alexandra Jane, Walmsley Adam, Walsh James Austin, White Leah, Yo Yen Ting, Butler Andrew, Baccalaurea in Medicina in Chirurgia et in Arte Obstetricia, Al-Sayeb Badr Galian, Andrews Rudy, Ang Kai Yin, Ang Min Han, Banerjee Isika, Bokhor Nada, Booth Rory, Bullock Ivan, Byrne Jean Margaret, Campbell Sophie Morwenna, Chen Brendan Kai Chang, Chu Celeste Z Ting, Connaughton Orla, Corbett John, Cotter Isabel, Connolly Stacey, Crisanza Crooks Danica Morgan, Deegan Joseph, Devlin Dara, Dolan Bridget Marie, Donovan Porrick, Egan David, Eves Zoe Janet, Farnan Richard, Foley Marianne, Gallagher Sean, Gather Felix, Glyn Jeffrey James, Abash Muhammad, Haji Kifli Khalidza Hafiza, Hegarty Cormac, Hennessy Sarah, Houston Mervyn, Jasim Samar, Karmakar Shubangi, Kernan Aoife, Kuhogan Clara, Lam Christopher Kong Ching, Lim Ming Lee, Lim Wang Che, Lucas Kenneth James, Macaulay Srinivasan Nina, McNamara Honora, McGrath David, Menzies Peter, Muhammad Rafai Aisha, Mohan Michelle Heather, Maloney David, Monaghan Maeve, Murphy Adam, Noonan Samuel Timothy, O'Callaghan Owen, O'Hara Joseph, Osborne Susie, Patel Yashesh, Paz Gabriela Maria, Sari Zainab, Shankar Narayanan Sankirtana, Slavescu Andrea, Tan Elena Chow May, Vaga Luisa, Vijay Kumar Thusyant, Walsh Dara, Warren Gregory Charles Reginald, Whelan Ashling, Yang Hai Wong, Yi Albert, Young Gronya Neve,
Magistri in Scientii Studia, Cambay Pierce, Elnemer Rania Ali, Gibbons John Oscar, Huston Marvin, Karmakar Shupangi, Kirby Emer Mary, Walmsley Adam. Pre honorabilis pro cancellaria, totaque universitas. Commendo vobis filios meos decentis peregre, quorum nomina recitata sunt supplicationesque placuerunt. Quos sio, tam doctrina cum moribus habiles editonius esse, ut ad gradus quos petunt admittantur.
Ego auctoritate mihi concessa, admitto candidatus de gentes peregre, quorum nomina reputata supplicationesque placuerunt, prodquisque meruit, ad respondendum quaestioni in artibus, in medicina, et in chirurgia, et in arte obstetricia, et ad incipiendum inscientius studia. Valete, senatores, non diutius vos morabimo, valete candidati novus, honoribus decorate, valete et vos, hospites acceptissimi, comitia solvantur in nomine Patris et Filiis et Spiritus Sancti.
Amen.